In this tutorial, we will have a look how we can make amazing camera follow. As you can see, we're gonna make this. And before I jump into the coding part, I want to thank Sally Staley, Neith, and Luke T for purchasing my source code on my Patreon page and purchasing membership. And if you guys want to do that, you can do on Patreon, and by that you will unlock many benefits. And also make sure you check out my Udemy courses I will have in the description. So without further delay, let's dive into this tutorial. To make our camera follow, what we need to do, we're gonna install Cinemachine for it. To do that, we need to head over to window in the top bar, you can see. So just click on it and then scroll down a little bit, says package manager. Let's click on it. So it's gonna bring up our package manager tab, and in the left bar you can see in project, unity registry, my assets built in. So what you need to do, you need to select this unity registry, and over here scroll down and find the Cinemachine. So select the Cinemachine right over here, and as soon as you're gonna select the Cinemachine, over here in the right side it's gonna there gonna be a install button. So just click on it in order to install that. And once you're done, it's gonna import Cinemachine in your project. And if you're not able to find, so firstly make sure you in unity registry, then search over here by typing which is Cinemachine, and as soon as we type, it just gets pop up, and we can just select that, and we can click on that install button in order to import Cinemachine in our project. And once you are done, so I already done it, as you can see, and it says update to 3.1.5. I'm not gonna do that. So once we're done, we can simply cut this tab by now, and to make our follow clear. So before I do that, let me show you. So if I just go ahead and then click on this play button in the top in order to play our game, you will able to notice our main camera just gonna be static. So we need to make it follow our player. So just wait a moment, and once we're done, we can check that out. And we're gonna make some amazing settings in order to make our camera follow amazing or cool. So as you can notice, our player is moving, but the problem is that our camera is not, or the main camera is not following. So let's get out of play mode. For that, what we need to do, we need to go over to this hierarchy tab, then right click or hit this plus icon, and in the bottom you can see Cinemachine, and then say, go over to targeted cameras, and then click on this 2D camera. So what you need to do, you need to right click on this hierarchy or click on this plus icon, and in the bottom you can see Cinemachine, then go over to targeted cameras and then click on this 2D camera. And we need to select our Cinemachine camera. So we need to make our camera follow. So if I select my Cinemachine camera in the hierarchy, then go over to inspector, Cinemachine camera component, we can see tracking target, and it says none transform, basically empty. So since we want to follow our player, so we need to follow our player game object or player transform, basically means position, into this slot says tracking target. So we're gonna follow our player. So we will select our player in the hierarchy, and let's drag it over to that field. And as soon as we drag it, by now we can see. And if you zoom in, if you want zoom in a little bit, then you can just go over to Cinemachine camera component in the inspector, then go over to lens, then vertical FOV, and you can make it a less to zoom in. And if you just want to zoom out, then you can just make this number bigger. So I'm gonna do something around 65 to zoom in a little bit. So as you can see, and now if I just go ahead and then click on this play button in the top in order to play my game, you will able to notice as soon as our player just gonna move left and right, our main camera just gonna move left and right as well. So let me show you. So now if I try to move left and right, as you can notice, it's our main camera is now following our player game object. So I hope you get the idea that how you can do it. And I'm gonna get out of play mode, and let me explain one more time. Basically I'm gonna explain this time these things. So if I select my main camera, then go over to inspector, we can notice that Cinemachine brain just added up to our main camera once we created this Cinemachine camera. Why? Because this Cinemachine camera just gonna give instruction to our main camera what it's actually need to do. Let's suppose a player want to move to the right direction, then this Cinemachine camera just gonna tell our main camera to move to the right direction. So that's why a Cinemachine brain component added to this main camera, so our Cinemachine camera can give instruction to our main camera what it's actually or really need to do. And now we're gonna make it cool. To do that, I'm gonna click on this play button in the top in order to play my game, and we will do some settings in order to make our camera follow amazing and cool. So just wait a moment, and once we're gonna play that and we're gonna have a look on it. So let me show you. So if we select our Cinemachine camera in the hierarchy in play mode, then go over to inspector Cinemachine camera, and in the bottom we can see, so I'm gonna click on it to collapse, and in the bottom we can notice that a Cinemachine position composer component is attached to our Cinemachine camera. So what we can do, let's suppose we just don't want our player to follow in this area for a little bit. Suppose we do want to specify a little bit area, then we just don't want our player play our main camera to follow our player. So as you can notice, as soon as we moving left and right, our main camera is following, or the Cinemachine camera you can simply say. So we don't want our Cinemachine camera or the main camera to follow in some area. So what we can do for that, we're gonna move over to Cinemachine position composer component in the inspector, and we need to move over to this dead zone. So just check this dead zone area, dead zone, and we can see as soon as we just checked in and then move over to our game view, we can see a area that is not turned out into blue. So this is basically, this area is our dead zone area, and once we surpass this area we can notice our main camera is now following. But once we try to move left and right in this area, which is the dead zone, we can notice that our main camera is not following. But once we surpass this area, we can notice that our main camera started following. So in the y-axis I don't want, so that's why I'm gonna move over to this Cinemachine position composer component in the inspector and then dead zone. So make sure you just check that, and in the y we're gonna put 0 since I don't want in the y. So now as you can see, we don't have in the y, but we have the dead zone in the x. So in this lines, as you can see, we our main camera is not following, but once we surpass this area we can notice our main camera is following our player game object. Let's suppose you just want a little bit more less space, or less you can say less area, then go over to dead zone, and size in the x you can put something around 0.15 or a less number. But if you want a bigger number or a little bit more area, then you can just increase the size in the x. So since I want a little bit, so I'm gonna put zero point 0.1 or 0.1, and as soon as we put it gets in small, so now we can see the area is small. So once we surpass, our main camera is now started following, and once we move around inside this area we can notice that our main camera is not following. Basically this is our dead zone. But the settings that we have done inside our Cinemachine position composer component in our play mode, it's not gonna saved at all. So what we need to do, we need to copy these properties. So we can see that we just take this dead zone and this size. So what let's suppose you just want to paste these values once you are out of play mode, and we do know that once we're gonna get out of play mode, the settings or the changes we made, it's not gonna save in our play mode. So to save that, or basically to copy the properties that we change it, or the things that we change it, we just want to copy that and then we just want to paste it, then you can simply right click on this component and then click on this copy component. So the changes you made in play mode we can just paste it. Now if I just get out of play mode by clicking on this play button in the top, we can notice that with the we can notice that the changes we made inside play mode, it's not saved at all. So that's why we need to copy the component, and we just want to paste it. So we can just right click on that component, and we can click on this paste component values. In the bottom we can notice, and as soon as we put, we can see the changes. We just take the date zone in the date zone as take, and the size in the x axis and the y. So the changes we made inside play mode, now it's saved out of play mode. So make sure you just get out of play mode, and you just copy those properties by right click and then click on this copy component. And once you are out of play mode, then you can just right click on that component and then click on this paste component values. So the changes you made, it's gonna be saved. And we want to do one more thing, so I'm gonna click on this play button in the top in order to play my game. And make sure you select Cinemachine camera in the hierarchy, then go over to inspector and do those things. uh, and I want to, let's suppose you want to cover up the right side, or in the direction player is looking, you just want to cover more, then we need to do a settings. So basically what we need to do, we need to select our Cinemachine camera in the hierarchy, then go over to inspector, Cinemachine position composer component in the bottom, then go over to target tracking and target offset in the bottom, you can notice. So let's suppose you just want to cover right side, or the side our player is looking, you just want to cover up more, then you can just make this target offset a little bit more, something like 1. And as soon as we're gonna put 1, 1, we can it's gonna cover more area to the right side. So since it seems a lot more small, so I would want to cover up more space to the right or left side, or in the direction player is looking, then we can make the target offset in the x, we can make it something like 5. And as soon as we put 5, as you can see, our player in which direction player is looking, it's just covering more area the direction player is looking. So make sure you just move over to your target tracking, then target offset, and you can increase the value which is target offset. And let's suppose you want to make it rigidly, not smoothly. As you can notice that we're just making the transition to the right or left smoothly. And if you don't want smoothly, then you can just move over to damping, and in the x you can put 0. So now if I flip my player, as you can see, our main camera gets flipped in the direction player is looking, it's just covering the area more rigidly, as you can see. But I don't want to do that, so that's why as a damping in the x, I'm gonna leave it to 1. 1, and now it's gonna follow smoothly, it's gonna cover up the area smoothly. And let's suppose you just want to be more smooth, then you can just increase this damping value. And you can do the same things in the y axis, and the tracking target in the y axis as well. I'm not gonna do that in the y axis, so that's why I'm gonna leave 0. And let's suppose you just want to move your main camera a little bit up or little bit down in the vertically, then you can just move over to this composition component, composition right over here in our Cinemachine position composer component, then composition, then screen position. So in the y or vertically, I want to move a little bit down my camera, then I can just increase this value or decrease. And as soon as we playing around with our main camera or this Cinemachine, basically main camera, you can simply say it just moving to the right, to the vertically in the x axis. So basically it's up to you what you want. I'm gonna set back to 0. So I hope you get the idea that how you can make these properties, and you can play around with this target offset in the x, and you can do the same thing a target offset in the y axis. And if you want your player to move smoothly in the y, as well as, if you want your player rigidly to follow to follow our player smoothly, or we want our main camera to follow our player smoothly, then you can just make it 1. But if you do one rigidly, then you can just put this damping in the x to 0 as well as in the y to 0. Basically it's up to you. I want both of them, but basically horizontally as well as vertically smoothly. So that's why I'm just gonna leave it with one. And if you want more smoothly, then you can just increase the value. But if you do want rigidly, then you can just set it to 0, and you can do the same thing vertically as well. So I hope you get the idea of this. But we do know that the changes we made inside play mode, it's not gonna save at all. So what we need to do, we're gonna move over to Cinemachine position composer component, and we're gonna right click on it and then click on this copy component right over here. And once you are out of play mode, so I'm going to click on this play button in the top to get out of play mode. And as you can see, as soon as we out of play mode, we can see that the changes we made inside play mode, it's not saved at all. So that's why we need to paste the component values. So now right click on that component one more time, and we're gonna click on this paste component values. And as soon as we put, we can see the changes we made inside play mode, it's now saved. So I hope you get the idea. And let's suppose you just want to get rid of blue. You just want to get off this blue, then you can just select any game object, any other game object in the hierarchy to just get rid of from that thing. So I hope you get the idea that how you can make your camera follow with Cinemachine camera, and how you can do the settings to make your camera follow more amazing and cool. And I will see you in the next tutorial. So bye for now.